Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays.
Oh,
yes.
Ben's being on the safe
Courteous.
side.
Yep.
Not that
Not
time.
courteous.
I'll be PC.
We're not PC.
Okay,
Anyways,
boomer.
Enjoying Kwanzaa.
it's not quite. Well, this weekend was a big weekend in the WWE. Survivor Series has been known as the Thanksgiving tradition for the past 30 years, and along with that, they had WarGames. NXT WarGames was awesome. They had the first ever women's WarGames match, and
Shayna Baszler lost.
Shayna Baszler lost that one. It was Rhea
I picked her to
Ripley's
win on
team that
Twitter.
one. Yeah, I saw that. But it was a really good match, and it was probably like the War Game matches. It was probably the second best all time, just to the one later in the night, and which is really awesome because they didn't make it all about the women's revolution. They just made it was people wrestling, and I think that's what wrestling's been missing because they make everything all about the women, and it kind of takes away what they're doing, and just yeah. So that was good. And then the men's War Games match was awesome. Kevin Owens showed up at the last minute to help Team Tommaso Ciampa get the victory. Adam Cole went through a 30-foot in the air and then went through a table. Then he wrestled the next night, so that was cool. But overall, War Games was really good. And it was easy to watch because it was like 2 hours for like a 6-hour pay-per-view. And so I really enjoyed that. And I think that NXT should keep doing takeovers, but I don't necessarily think that they should have be part of pay-per-views.
The pay-per-view time.
Because when you have Adam Cole going on a War Games match being suplexed 30 feet in the air through tables, and then he's wrestling for the NXT Championship the next night. Plus he was on Friday Night SmackDown, and he was on Monday Night Raw and NXT on Wednesday.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
To work on, at least in these.
Yeah, and so I don't know. But it was cool that NXT was a part of Survivor Series because they beat everybody else. It was 4-2 to 1. NXT had 4 victories. Raw had 1 victory, and then SmackDown had 2 victories. I was really surprised that they gave it to NXT, but it's the Wednesday Night Wars, so of course they're gonna.
I wasn't too surprised. I think they need to do justice for the Nexus. That's why they did it.
I don't know.
And I think it just made sense for the NXT to win.
It made sense, but do you expect Vince McMahon to go about that?
No, I was kind of surprised that they did, but it was the right decision. So applause to Vince.
So Roderick Strong beat AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. That was a really good match. I was expecting it to be a good match, and Roderick Strong won, which I was not expecting at all. I was expecting it to be Shinsuke with the help of Sami Zayn or AJ with the help of the OC, but it was neither. And Roderick Strong didn't get any help from the Undisputed Era, which is really, really cool because they're showing his singles talent. And then the NXT women beat Team Raw and Team SmackDown by they still had 3 people at the end of the elimination. And that was really cool because they really showed Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, which are probably the next generation of the women in the WWE. And so them getting to shine like that was really cool to see, especially when you have all these future matches you can have now. Like you can have Asuka versus Io Shirai, or you can have Bianca Belair versus Charlotte. And so they tease a lot of those future matchups. And then Team NXT faced Raw and SmackDown, and they had all their performances that were really good. They had Damian Priest, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, somebody else, and Tommaso Ciampa. And they all kind of got their chance to shine. But I think the person that got the most shine was Keith Lee, who pinned Seth Rollins and almost beat Roman Reigns. And so he definitely has a future. I want to see a Keith Lee-Roman Reigns WrestleMania match now. And so hopefully he'll do that. But what I'm scared of is that some of these NXT peoples will be moved to Raw or SmackDown because they moved Kevin Owens to NXT. They've moved Fandango and Tyler Breeze to NXT, and they've moved Finn Balor to NXT, but they haven't taken anybody from NXT, and so I'm scared that they're going to take people like Shayna Baszler or Keith Lee and really mess with the NXT landscape down there. But it was still cool. And then Shayna Baszler beat Becky Lynch and Bayley, and that was really awesome because Shayna Baszler is from Sioux Falls, and watch all her matches and stuff. She's good. And I wasn't expecting that because it was the end of the show. I was expecting Ronda Rousey to come out, but it didn't happen, so I was kind of disappointed.
Me too.
But Becky Lynch beat up Shayna Baszler after it, so I mean, it was whatever. And then Adam Cole beat Pete Dunne for the championship, and I sure hope he gets a break because he's been wrestling a lot, like I said. And Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio had Brock Lesnar's probably second best match in WWE since like 2014. So Rey Mysterio had more offense than I expected, and his son Dominic stepped in the ring. They both like low blowed Brock Lesnar, and they did the double 619, and then Dominic did the frog splash off the top. And I thought that was really cool because like there's going to be a tag team, obviously. And so I really wish Rey Mysterio would have won that match. I was hoping he would have. Brock Lesnar won. And so that's Survivor Series. And WarGames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's not surviving?
The Packers.
Or the Lions.
Oh, well.
Yeah, a lot of watch the Redskins.
That's bad.
Which is really
Yeah.
bad.
That's really bad.
But if you watch the game, it was decent. Jeff Driscoll
There's nothing attractive
My
about
man.
him at all.
was
Jeff Drixel.
he didn't have a bad game.
Jeff
He didn't
Driscoll's
have
actually doing pretty decent.
a great game.
Okay, so 2-3 years ago, Jeff Drixel, preseason on the Bengals, I was like, he needs to be their starting quarterback.
Well, I don't view Jeff Driscoll as ever being a starter, but he's a really solid
But
backup.
think about what they have in Cincinnati right now. And
Yeah.
they let him walk away.
I don't think they're going to live to regret that decision. I think they'll be okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think we're going to look back 10 years from now and be like, oh, remember when Cincinnati let Jeff Driscoll go? Damn, that's it.
Wow, if that's what we're talking about in 10 years, it's really
This
sad.
is slow NFL.
Yeah.
yeah, no kidding.
Jeffy D is my man.
Jeffy D, that's what we're calling him now.
Yep.
I think my
I'm
biggest
gonna get a
surprise
Jeff
I don't think that's
Drixel
going to catch.
I think my biggest surprise this week in the NFL was how the Jets demolished the Raiders.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, 34-3.
I think that one almost might be more surprising than the Redskins beating
Right.
the Lions.
Yeah.
Because the Lions, like, we don't expect anything from them this year, but the Raiders were looking up on this, like, on
Yeah.
the upswing
Right.
the last couple weeks.
And then
But
the
then-
Jets have been kind of. I mean, well, now the Jets are on, what, a 3-game winning streak?
Yeah, something like that.
So,
I mean,
I
they
mean-
were playing better, but, like,
I mean, obviously the Jets aren't like, whoa, they're going to sneak into the playoffs, but, like, they're definitely playing better football
Yeah.
of late.
yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, I mean, if they won out, they could sneak
Because what's
into
the
the
record now?
playoffs.
4-7?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
Something
so.
like that? Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, technically,
yeah, if they win
they
out-
could take that 6th seed.
I mean,
That's true.
Derek Carr gets benched in that game. That was,
But that
That was a-
wasn't really Derek Carr. He was fumbled, like,
But-
yeah.
but then Glennon comes in and fumbles
Fumbled
it
too.
twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't
there's
really
just-
nothing you could do. I think it was just
It's
the
a bad
Jets'
game.
defense being, like, on and the Raiders being off. Like, they over-prepared
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I don't know if Oakland just thought, okay, this is another thing because like the Raiders have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way, so they're like, all right, we just gotta get through this Jets game,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and then yeah, they just overlooked him. Jets came to play. Jamal Adams had a pretty good game. Did you see he got in a Twitter fight with Derek Carr's brother?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
People were critiquing Derek Carr's brother for his grammar,
His
actually.
grammar, yeah, because he's a teacher.
That's great.
It was awesome.
Another matchup that I was surprised how little fight the Eagles had because going into the past couple weeks, I've always expected a lot more out of the Eagles. Like they show times where they can be like a top 10 team in the NFL, and then they go like they did this week, and they show why they're not a top 20 team in the NFL.
I think Philly's playoff chances are done.
I think so too.
I don't
Well, it
think they have,
sucks though, because like they still could sneak into the top
Yeah.
of the division because the Cowboys lost this last week too, and
right.
like that division's still open to me. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it is, but like the way Philadelphia is playing, they're just showing no. There's just something not lit up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's hard to explain because it's just like they obviously have the talent to be a good football team, but it's just something. There's just no fire in them right now.
they don't have that Super Bowl.
mentality
I think
like
the mentality
they did.
like
They
they
need to
did
get
with
that
Nick Foles
right.
and
They need
stuff.
they just need to get even before they with Nick Foles they were hyped up. They were doing that underdog thing. Like they need to get back to that style of play. I mean, they just need to. I don't know. They just need to find some sort of fire. And I don't know how they're going to find it, but I mean. I don't think it's all on Carson Wentz, but it's just funny how they never been able to find it
Yeah.
once Nick Foles came in, and you know, it's just weird to me. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say Carson Wentz is a problem or he's a bust because obviously Carson Wentz is a really good quarterback. But what were you going to say?
Oh, you can keep going.
I was just going to say, but I think team needs to start playing better. I think the team needs just to find something in them because then they're just going to be they're going to be like the Seahawks, you know, Legion of Boom to now,
Right.
you know, I mean, obviously they're still good, but like,
Oh, I would still put Carson Wentz, whatever his name is, at a risk because he got hurt again in this game.
Yeah.
right.
He's gotten hurt in a few games.
Well,
He's come back,
and
but
that's
he's
the
still
thing.
getting hurt, and it's
Well,
kind
right,
of scary.
and that's always just been the problem with him. He's always just been hurt. Like, you know, me and some guys were talking about this yesterday. We were talking, you know, the Carson Wentz Dak Prescott comparison. It's just the problem is Wentz is never healthy. Like when Wentz is healthy, he's obviously better than Dak, but he's never had a full healthy season.
Nick Foles actually got hurt too in his
Good.
game.
Minshew mania?
Yeah.
Dot,
I'm
dot,
hoping.
dot.
But Minshew
Question mark?
didn't get any points in fantasy.
No. Yeah. But the Titans killed the Jaguars, so it's like 42-20.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's playing really good right now.
Yeah, he's definitely playing for that spot next year,
Yeah.
and I think
He'll probably
he
get
has his seal.
Well, as of right now, I think he'll be back on the Titans.
I mean,
Yeah,
because
I
they're
don't see why
4-1
they-
with him.
Maybe Tannehill doesn't.
I guess that's true.
I
But-
think
but
he
I-
But
does.
honestly, like,
I think he likes it.
I don't know. There's nothing really bad about Tennessee. You play for a pretty good coaching staff. You have like an underrated roster.
You
Tennessee,
have one of the most underrated or overrated, depending on it, and Derrick Henry.
right.
Yeah, and their offense is really young. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
has a consistent offense for the next couple of years.
Exactly, and not to mention, like they have a good coaching staff. They have some talent on defense, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Tennessee's just one of those weird teams where it's like they're not
Honestly,
terrible.
I'd stay there because it could get so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's like, I don't play
Yeah,
Tennessee,
right,
he could
right.
end up on a worse team.
Like,
If he
That's true.
tries to chase for like extra money.
Right, it'll be bad for
Yeah,
him.
they're going to
That's a good
Cincinnati.
point.
Yeah.
But at the
Right.
same time, he may just want to make big money because he has not made big money.
Because then I was just gonna say maybe then he'll go to Chicago.
That's what Chicago would do.
See, but the Bears aren't that horrible of an offense either. They got Tariq Cohen, they got
No,
David
I
Montgomery,
think
they got
you can-
Allen Robinson.
You can't win a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill, but he's certainly better than Mitch Trubisky, who
Yeah.
again is the worst quarterback in the NFC.
But I think you can win a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill if you're the Chicago Bears. Because you don't need your offense to do much of anything.
If you
You
got
literally,
that,
you
Move
literally
the ball.
need you just
Move the
literally
ball
need
and run the clock.
above average QB play. That's literally all
Yeah.
they need.
Which Ryan Tannehill, I feel like, has shown that. As
I
much as I don't want to admit it, because I'm still like, I miss Mariota.
don't know why Mariota's
I
not
don't.
good.
Ever
Why
since
you
he
still
got-
Mariota would go to the Bears.
Yeah, and that would be awful because Mariota is
According
not
to
good.
Brendan, Mariota would win the Super Bowl.
Debatable.
defense
We're
wins
not
championships.
shouldn't argue about it. Andy Dalton's going to be the Bears and the quarterback. We've already come up with it.
Well, he was named the starter for this week for the Bengals.
Yeah,
so I
the
mean,
Bengals are going to drop him.
the Bengals are trying to
Bengals
keep
are
him.
going to
I
draft
think.
high. He's going to draft a quarterback with the first pick.
When did the Bengals play
Cam
the
Newton
Dolphins?
is clearly going
They
to be
already-
the starting quarterback
they
for the
already have
Bears.
it.
Oh, I think I'm not thinking
2
No,
years
no, no,
from
no.
now, it's
Is
Cam
that
Newton.
this week? This
Cam
might be
Newton's
this
with
week.
Is it? Ooh, if it is.
The Dolphins, though, they put up a fight against the Steelers this week. I mean,
Yeah.
it was closer than I was
What's his
expecting.
face? Mason Rudolph got benched in that game too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
so happy to see Duck.
It was really funny in a press conference with Sheldon Richardson about that. He was like, "I don't care," and then like 2 seconds later, he's like, "Yeah, I want Mason Rudolph to play." They were like, "Why?" I want to sack him. I want to sack him like 12 times.
Name a more punchable face in the NFL than Mason Rudolph.
At the moment, yeah.
He looks like just that typical douchebag in college.
He
where
really
just,
does.
Where he just.
I mean, it kind of sounds like he is, too.
Well, it
Well, yeah,
depends.
clearly, yeah.
Is Antonio Brown considered a free agent?
I'd still want to
Yeah.
punch Mason
Yeah.
Rudolph over Antonio Brown.
That's fair.
True.
That's fair. Antonio Brown apologized.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
might end up being a Patriot here again soon. We don't know.
Well, Gronk
Yeah.
just said that he's not coming back this season.
Yeah.
And part of that's because of his company that he now owns dealing with CBD and how he is the biggest advocate for the company, and so he wouldn't pass the test. But another part of that is that he's living life without football, and he's doing good.
And he's healthy. That's the big thing.
And then the best matchup last night, which I caught the tail end of.
I didn't even watch most of it. I watched
Whew.
part of it.
It
So,
was amazing.
so Green Bay doesn't think George Kittle exists.
George Kittle has a broken ankle.
Yeah.
He's an average human being now. It's not
So
about that.
Green Bay thought.
I guess.
Like, what was it, 128 yards and a touchdown later?
I don't think Green Bay is. I haven't thought you've heard it. I haven't thought Green Bay is as good as they think they are all year, and I
Yeah,
think this game
I think
actually shows
Green
it.
Bay needs to do- They need to change something, obviously, because Aaron Rodgers got sacked so many times.
Yeah.
The fumble
Yeah.
that they got touched on.
Well, Brian
And it's-
Bulaga got hurt that game.
Yeah.
That was huge.
I was going to say,
Bulaga.
besides
And with
Bulaga,
that
though, it
depth,
seemed like you had everybody else.
Yeah,
under
but
O-line.
in all
Missing,
fairness,
our guard.
yeah, but in all fairness, so San Francisco's defensive line is probably the best and deepest in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa's a stud.
Nick Bosa is a stud.
Like,
Solomon Thomas
Nick
going up
Bosa
is a
for
stud.
rookie of the year.
Nick Bosa is second in tackles for losses and top 5 in sacks.
That's
I think he's either
Yeah.
2 or 3 in
He's gonna be
sacks,
better
yeah.
than Joey without question.
I think so,
No
yeah.
person who has more tackles for losses than Nick Bosa.
Who's gonna sack Lamar Jackson 5 times tonight?
Hot take.
5.
I could see it happening, actually.
No, it's not actually gonna happen. But
I could see
I
it
don't-
happening.
like,
I don't know.
Aaron Donald's probably the most athletic defensive lineman in the league,
he's the
but
best,
I don't
yeah.
think he can run down Lamar Jackson.
Bet I think he could.
Because we've seen
I think if he
could.
really
Yo,
cares.
Brendan, Aaron Donald is a freak athlete in
I don't-
his position.
See, but
I watched Lamar Jackson get almost sacked by 4 people,
Yep.
and he just ran around him. I don't
But-
think Aaron
but-
Donald can catch him.
I think he-
bet Aaron Donald eats human beings for breakfast. He'll be fine.
Lamar Jackson is not a human being. we've learned that this year. He's a running back that's playing quarterback, but he's running very good at it.
Aaron Donald will get at least 2
He's a
sacks.
quarterback.
2 perfect QBRs this
He's a
season.
quarterback.
Okay, against the Bengals and the Dolphins.
He's a quarterback.
Still 2 perfect QBRs.
He's a quarterback.
But he ain't gonna do it tonight.
Yes,
Jalen Ramsey's gonna get a pick.
He's going to be playing amazing
Aaron Donald's
tonight.
gonna get at least 2 sacks tonight.
I think
Everything's
if
gonna be good,
there's a
guys.
game that's going to solidify like the fact that Lamar Jackson is a running back, it's going to be tonight's game.
I don't think so.
Ravens go to.
No, Ravens go to San Francisco. That's
Next
gonna be
week.
Oh yeah, never mind.
that'll be the game.
I feel like
If Lamar Jackson can go into, because it's in San Fran,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, right? Okay. If Lamar Jackson go into San Fran and put up a really good performance, like if he can do what he's been doing in San Francisco, he is locked up for MVP. Locked up, guaranteed.
Oh, I'd say so too.
No
Yeah.
chance at anyone. And I really want Russell Wilson to win it.
See,
but-
that's the other quarterback that's beat San Fran.
That's
Russell
true.
Wilson.
Yeah. And I think San Fran's the best team in the NFC. I'm fully convinced of it now.
I think they are. I think there's certain
Yeah.
players, like I think Russell Wilson's better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But
No, but
Yeah.
but San
I still
Francisco's
think Jimmy
defense.
G's legit.
Oh no, Jimmy
Oh,
G
I
is
think he's
great.
legit.
Jimmy G is great.
But-
And Brendan, we were talking about this was a couple weeks ago after they lost to Seattle. I was saying, how Jimmy G looked scared at the big moment. Since then, he's put
He
up
didn't
2
look scared last
great.
night,
He
yeah.
did not, and he didn't look scared against Arizona in a game-winning
True,
drive.
true.
And he looked great yesterday. Like prime time, like we were talking about how quick he would turn around, and he's turning around quick. Jimmy G's great. That defense is like insanely good. Like easily the best in the league.
Honestly,
I think they're the quickest. I think they're the most like physical. I think they're just really good.
honestly,
They remind me of Legion of Boom.
ooh,
Yeah, no,
honestly,
Maybe-
Richard Sherman.
yeah,
His
true.
name.
That's true. I
honestly,
mean, obviously the name talent may not be there for Sam, at least not yet. But like that, you compare how those 2 teams play style wise. Like they're very comparable defenses, and with the numbers they're putting up too.
honestly, this year San Fran's only Achilles heel is divisional games because Cardinals have kind of made every game with them very
But the
close.
Cardinals are honestly probably the best last place team in the NFL, if not the NFC. Ooh, color rush uniforms.
I like the Ravens' other color rush jerseys.
I don't like the Rams color rush. They look like
I don't either.
They look like a jar of mustard.
I don't like the Packers colors. Packers colors is just white.
It's just plain white.
I like white jerseys.
It's just like all green,
It's
or
clean.
like a
Like
yellow
a-
stripe or something.
Like a gold stripe.
Yeah.
Or they could even do blue, like throwback the throwbacks.
Yeah, the navy blue and the yellow.
Yeah, like they could do something with that and it'd be sick.
Real quick here, I think the best 2 teams that have color rush jerseys are the Vikings and the Broncos.
I think the best are the
New England.
Saints and the Cardinals.
What's the Cardinals?
It's the red on. It's the black on the red.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hashtag rain for next week.
I have a Ravens Steve Smith team.
It's slightly different this year, though.
They're pretty sick.
Their old ones were better.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like New England's. New England's color rush uniforms.
New England's is clean, but like
Okay.
I have
guess
no
it's
reason to buy it because I can just. Why buy it?
I think they're the best jerseys they have. Oh, yeah, and for me personally, like I'm also a guy who's like less is more when it comes to uniforms. So for me, New England's uniforms are just perfect.
New England's best uniforms is the throwback Boston
Throwback
Patriots uniforms. You
That's
cannot turn me otherwise.
Nah, I'll agree. I'll attest to that.
I spent $75 of Ben's money to get one.
Denver's is pretty nice too with the throwback navy
Yeah.
Denver logo. It's pretty slick. Mark Ingram, more like.
Mark Ingram is going to have 120 yards and 3 touchdowns.
What is it with the resurgence of old running backs this year? Because like
Well,
Frank
like,
Gore,
Ingram, I
Ingram's
mean,
not
he's
that
been
old.
yeah. I think he just turned 30. It's not like he's been playing bad the last few years.
but like
No, Mark
he's
Ingram's never
still
been
one of
bad.
the oldest starting running backs in the league.
Right,
Granted, the top 2 running backs in the league are some of the younger ones, but
Dalvin Cook and-
The top like 5 are Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like I like seeing that they have these years. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, huh.
Just so you guys know, Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks are active for tonight, so Marcus Peters will not know what hit him tonight, or Earl Thomas. So be ready.
I just
See,
thought
but
Cooper
neither
Kupp
will
do
the offense of the Rams as they're trying to chase down Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters has a pick 6 in this game. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I will.
Until after the game, obviously.
I was gonna say because it ain't gonna happen.
Bet. Bet.
But let's start off with some NHL.
We're ripping
Yeah.
shell, boys.
Might
We're
as well.
ripping shell.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. So it's funny. Both teams are number 3 in their like respectable like subdivisions of the conference.
Yeah.
Actually, the Devils are last.
No, they're not. They're number 3. Oh no, I got Devils mixed with Carolina. Never mind.
There you go.
Rip.
I kept doing that as I was going back.
So it's really not that great. of a match.
So, but Montreal is playing awesome.
Yeah.
Although the last time these two faced each other, the Devils got the dub because of PK Subban, who is
Now a devil.
So
a
what's
devil.
your prediction?
See, I look back at all the past games, and Montreal tends to have the tendency to not lose twice
Okay,
to
so
the same. I think Montreal is going to win, and the score that I have predicted is 3-2 Montreal.
Oh, that says 20. Oh, no, that's for somebody
So
else.
I
Okay.
also have the Devils losing. The Devils lose to the Canadians 4-20.
420.
I like it.
Nice.
What a great number.
That's a
Wait, are they-
high
Are
score.
they in Canada?
Yes.
Oh, then yeah, definitely.
That's
Oh,
a
that is gonna be a high score.
high score.
Is that the only NHL Thanksgiving game?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was so disappointed.
Like, why don't you have like New York or Boston play? Or,
That's
like,
what I was thinking. Like, why
yeah,
don't
like,
you
have,
have
like Rangers Boston or like
a
Detroit Chicago?
good old game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to say?
Uh,
4-1 Montreal.
All right.
Well, I got them Devils winning, right?
Ooh, upset.
4-3.
just like last time.
I think it's gonna be a great game.
Crazy.
Not gonna watch it, but I think PK Subban's gonna have 4 saves.
You mean
Four
He's
4
gonna.
block shots?
Yeah.
block shots.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
think he's just gonna let his body out there?
Sure. I think that there's gonna be 3 ejections from the game. It's gonna be a
Wow,
huge fight.
Crazy.
There's gonna be
Well, yeah,
2
This isn't
people.
Montreal, Boston. There's not gonna be that big of.
There's
fights.
gonna be 2 people who are taken out of the arena with in a stretcher and are gonna end up in the hospital over the
always
holidays.
happens to be the best.
It's gonna be sad. Somebody might die from it. You never know, but I mean it could happen. But yeah,
God, none of you guys have Baltimore Rams being a close game.
and then Ethan actually is going into overtime here with a 3-2 victory for the
Wow,
Devils.
overtime. Oh,
Yes.
Barber.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be 0-0 going into third period.
Ooh, that makes it even better.
Tied 2-2. The Devils win 3-2 in overtime.
In overtime or shootout?
Overtime, they won't go to shoot.
Okay. So there's been a lot of games going to shootout recently. Fun fact. Fun stat.
So next up, our first NFL game is a classic Thanksgiving game.
Everything.
Bears Lions.
Yeah.
Can't get any better.
Just sucks. You can't really get excited about this one this year.
right.
This is awful.
Like,
The
Could be great. What are you
Lions
talking
lost
about?
to the Redskins. Did the Bears also lose to the Redskins?
No. They haven't played
No.
them.
No, they did. They played him on Monday night and killed them.
No, anyway.
it's Driscoll versus Trubisky. That's our
It's not a good
game.
matchup.
Trubisky had a great game last week for a Trubisky game.
For
For
Trubisky.
Trubisky,
He had a average quarterback game. I am defending Mitch Trubisky.
I will
here.
not. The fact that if he has an average day, that's a career day for
Yeah.
him, that's insane.
That's just showing his talent. He's progressing. He's growing.
We've proven that Trubisky listens to this podcast.
I know,
You
and I just
probably
wanna
send
make
him
sure.
going home crying.
Good. I want him to remind himself that he was a waste of a draft pick.
No, he's going to go hyped up because I got the Bears winning 24-17 on Thanksgiving.
See, I have a different take completely.
I
think this might be one of the worst Thanksgiving games.
bad game.
This might be one of the worst Thanksgiving games ever. I think both Trubisky does nothing. I think Driscoll does nothing against the Bears. I think the Lions win 7-3.
Wow.
So the turkey ceremony, is that before or after? the game?
It's after because they usually give it to like the player of the game. Who's gonna be player
So
of
are
the
you,
game?
are you assuming that Mitchell Trubisky's gonna like choke and then choke on the turkey?
He's not even a chance
You
to
don't get-
smell
yeah,
the
we
turkey.
don't get close
He's
to
not
the
even gonna
turkey.
smell the turkey.
No, only winners get turkey.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Only the winning team gets that.
Detroit's the long snapper wins.
the punter.
Yeah.
No, the Lions are gonna like catching the line for 50 yards or a really long run. They're gonna break one.
Hey,
and they're gonna go take another.
Is it gonna be Marvin Jones? I need him in fantasy.
No.
No.
Kenny Galladay.
Nope. Zach Zenner.
Oh,
Zach-
I like that, South Dakota.
I thought you were about to
Is
say
he
Danny
even still on
Amendola.
the Lions? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah.
sick. All right.
Dang.
Zach Zenner.
All right.
What do you guys have for the game?
I have actually kind of a blowout on Thanksgiving. I have Detroit winning 24-10.
Wow.
What?
I think Trubisky's
Crazy.
gonna be ass.
What?
So bad.
Have you seen Trubisky play last week?
I did against the Giants.
Yeah.
I'm just taking his last week in consideration for his whole career.
That's
Well,
He is a
pathetic.
good quarterback.
He's a good
No.
quarterback.
This
If
year.
that's your career is good, I don't know.
And
but
I even think calling him a good quarterback is a little much.
So, I think that this game is actually going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be 13-3 and going into the half Lions. The Lions can't finish out a game. So the Bears are going to find a way to score 2 touchdowns against them. And plus, when they met before, the Bears kind of dicked them. And that was with Matt Stafford there.
Who gets your touchdowns?
I don't want to say. 17-16 Chicago.
Mark Ingram's number 8 rushing leaders this year. Lamar Jackson's number 2. Number
Yeah.
6.
Okay, so this is gonna be just a defensive showdown.
Okay.
I think Chicago's defense is better. I do think the Bears will win, but it will not be because of Mitchell Trubisky. It'll because Jeff Driscoll will also be bad, but I think Chicago's defense is just better. Like I think they'll get a pick 6 this game.
Jeffrey Drexel
I think
did not do any wrong.
I think
Your fault.
I think the Lions are going to have 3+ turnovers, and I think the Bears will probably have that, if not more. And it's just going to be an ugly game. But 20-10 Chicago, because why not?
Jeffy D.
See, I don't even know his name.
I think this next game here is going to be a
Yes,
Yeah.
this next one's going to be
good
awesome.
game.
It could be,
This
I
is the other game that'll be on Thanksgiving night, right?
So there's 3 games on Thanksgiving. There's the Bears game, the Bills game, and then there's the Saints game.
Okay, so the second one is the Bills at Cowboys.
Bills at Cowboys,
always host Thanksgiving.
America game. America's game of the week.
This one is actually going to be a good game.
Yeah.
The Cowboys were so frustrated that game. I hated watching it.
right?
But the Bills and the Cowboys, Dak's going to get a lot. Josh Allen's going to get a couple touchdowns. 28-27. Bills win in the end. Josh Allen runs it in for last game.
So even with the Ravens game for the Patriots are actually on course to have averaging 11 points a game on the season. I think Dak is going to come back with vengeance, though. And I feel like this Bills defense is still going to be strong, as they have been. So I feel like it is going to be a close game, but I feel like Dallas is going to win 23-17.
I mean, I actually agree with you, Brenda. I think this is going to be a huge battle.
So we agree. for once, you agree, Brenda.
No, I do. I think Dak Prescott's going to have a bounce back game. I think he's going to throw for like 3+ touchdowns. I think he's going to be really good against Buffalo. It seems when Buffalo has played, because Buffalo's 3 losses are to New England, Philadelphia, and to who else did they lose to? Browns. In all those games, Baker had a good game. Coming off of the vengeance, the Eagles had an emotional performance, and Carson Wentz had a good game. I think that's the same here. The Cowboys always show up on Thanksgiving. They always do. I shouldn't say always, but they always seem to get hyped and play good on Thanksgiving. I have 31-20. Dallas gets the win over the Bills. Obviously, I think it'll be tied going into the fourth quarter, or say it'll be close, and then come fourth quarter, I think Dallas will pull away.
I also have Dallas winning this game, 31-24. I think we're going to see Zeke jumping in the Salvation Army pot again. I think it's going to be a good game. Zeke's going to actually have a Zeke game instead of having 40 yards and struggling. He's actually going to do really good.
Okay game against New England. He had 100, just under 100 rushing yards, just under 50 receiving yards. It's not bad.
Yeah, but when you think of Zeke last year, you think of Zeke having 100+ yard games, touchdowns.
Yards against that defense kind of thing was pretty solid.
I guess. But yeah, my score is 31-24.
I think this could be an entertaining game on Thanksgiving, as long as Dallas plays the way Dallas has been playing on their ups this year.
Right.
Hopefully not the way that they played against New England. But yeah, I got the Bills winning 28-24. So I got Bills winning. I don't know.
Well, I also think that the big thing about yesterday's game too with New England, Dallas, not like New England's offense was that great either. The only reason they got their only touchdown was off of special teams play. I think it was because of the weather. I think the weather was awful that game. I think that really does play a factor. And yeah, Tom Brady didn't have that great of a game either. Obviously, Dak was not good, but I think they'll be back at home inside. I think they'll find their rhythm.
28-24.
Is that everyone?
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
So next is the third Thanksgiving game, and you know why it's gonna be a good one? Because this division always plays.
Yeah.
Good game. Bucks Falcons was an okay one. Saints Panthers was a good one last one. Always good divisional games. Always high scoring divisional games.
I think this game was actually a Thanksgiving game last year.
I was gonna
too.
say, I feel like this was.
It was. Yep, it was last year.
Because I think Julio went off in the second half or something.
Yeah, but I think the Saints still won because I still picture Drew Brees eating turkey legs for some reason.
I have this game. Both teams going in the 30s like they have recently. Saints win 35-31 though. The Falcons lost this last week and lose again this week.
I have a pretty big blowout this week. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what to take of the Falcons this year. They've played great football, but at the same time, they were in conversation for the first overall pick going through the first 7 weeks.
They beat the Saints.
And that's the thing it's weird. I just don't know what to make of them. So I played it pretty edgy on this one, just because I think the Falcons are probably going to dip and show what they were towards the beginning of the year. I have the Saints winning 31-14. I think it'll be a blowout from the get-go, and Atlanta won't be able to catch up.
Did you guys know that they actually added Taysom Hill packages in Madden?
Really?
Yep, that was one of the latest updates.
Nice.
And also, I really need Marshawn Lattimore to get a pick and a pass deflection for Madden reasons. Therefore, I have the Saints winning due to those factors. They're just getting hyped up from Madden. 26-22, it's going to be close.
What does his overall go up to if he gets one? A pick.
If he gets a deflection, it goes to 91. If he gets a pick, it goes and a deflection, it goes up to 92. If he gets one or the other, it's just a 91.
Well, while you're talking about Madden real quick, shout out to Christian McCaffrey. He became the third or
no, it's
fifth something.
Right.
Well, the youngest.
Fifth member this year for
the 99 club. Yep,
yeah, but I think he's the third running back to get it because it's AP, McCaffrey, and then somebody that I don't even know.
McCaffrey's the youngest person to have a 99 in Madden.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
So.
Is that Everybody say Saints Falcons or
No, I think only two of us have done.
Yeah.
Because Brendan didn't even. Did you?
He didn't even say,
yeah,
he said
26,
prediction.
22.
All right.
Just to make sure.
I think it's going to be a close game. Atlanta's been playing tougher football as of late, but I think going into the Superdome, that's going to be the Saints' place. I think the Saints might win another close one. It seems this division produces some pretty high-scoring offensive games, so I think it's going to be 34-30 New Orleans.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Then
Nice.
I got it being 31-14. Wait, no, 32-24. The Saints. I just think that they're gonna finally get Alvin Kamara back to Alvin Kamara's playing good because they haven't been using him as much for some reason. And Michael Thomas is an excellent receiver, and I think he's better than any defensive back you can put on him right now. And so I have 32-24 Saints.
All right. So next we have the Patriots Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first. So I had the Texans winning 69-4.
Wow.
Well, that's a score.
Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson's the Patriots. He runs all around him. Patriots defense, no idea what's going on, and the Patriots offense has not been great. As you mentioned,
hey.
averaging 11 points a game.
No. They've been only allowing 11 points a game.
Anyway, the Patriots offense struggles against the Texans,
Right.
and the Texans win 69.
Nice.
If they get up 69 points, I definitely that average would go up by a pretty good margin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I will take note of the fact that the Patriots offense has been slow. And I will take note of the Patriots offense also being hella good. Like, shout out to Gwen Stefani for that one, feeling hella good. So I'm going to keep on defensing. Y'all need to know your songs here. But
I know that
anyways,
Taylor Swift won Artist of the Decade.
Post Malone wore a cowboy hat.
And he said he
Music
loves
awards.
grapes.
And he played with Ozzy Osbourne.
And Ozzy Osbourne just waved his hands in the air. It was
fucking
crazy.
awesome. I think Ozzy Osbourne was lip syncing that.
anywho,
I'm guessing so.
Patriots are going to win 18-15.
Well, wait, you're giving the Texans a good chance then.
I know it's going to be close because this
All right.
is a playoff game, and I feel like the Texans offense is actually really solid, and we've seen good things from them. I feel like the Patriots defense is going to be really strong and slow them to that 15 points. And no, it's not all field goals.
So who is what's his name? Jared Stidham?
Jared Stidham.
Stidham. He's quarterback?
Yes.
Yes. He is going to start this game because Tom Brady is going to get hurt in pregame practice.
Tom Brady is questionable every week.
He is going to throw 2 touchdowns to Julian Edelman. No. He's going to get the other 2 touchdowns to Keneal Harry. Because you need to...
N'Keal Harry?
Whatever his name
Not
is.
Keneal
I read it on Twitter, and that's what I see. 28-21, I think Deshaun Watson is going to struggle against the defense, and he'll probably throw a pick to Stephon Gilmore, and that will be what causes them the game.
Plain and simple, I picked the Patriots to win last week. They won. This week, I'm picking the Texans to win, so the Patriots lose. Hopefully, it gets things on track.
I see what you mean.
So I got the Texans. It's going to be a close game. Patriots will be in the game. They could possibly win. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout or anything, but I do have the Texans winning 24-17.
My big thing with the Patriots is I ripped on their defense a few weeks ago after Baltimore. They came back. Regardless, when they played Dallas, it was at home in really bad weather. And they were playing a Philadelphia team that just doesn't have a fire anymore, but the defense still played well. I think they're going to put pressure on Deshaun Watson because Houston's offensive line is still awful, so therefore they're going to put pressure on Deshaun Watson, make him uncomfortable. I think the Texans offense is going to struggle. I think Bill O'Brien is a terrible game planner in big-time games like this.
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah, no, Bill O'Brien he's a good coach, but he's just not – he just can't prepare for the big games that well. So I'm going to pick New England to win 17-10. I don't know how the Patriots offense can struggle because Houston's defense isn't spectacular, but I think the offense will still struggle, trying to find their feet a little bit. But New England will win 17-10.
This next game is a very important game for the playoff pictures. It determines 5th and 6th seed, basically. because it's the Vikings versus the Seahawks. Of course, if the 49ers can lose one more game and the Seahawks can win out, then the Seahawks would have the advantage at this point. And the Vikings, they're just one game away, or are they tied
They'll be,
right now?
I think they're tied. But
Vikings are
technically-
tied in the NFC North at 8-3.
Okay, but technically the Packers have the game because they're 3-0.
Because the Packers
Yeah.
won all the division
Yeah.
games.
So this is going to be a really crazy matchup. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm expecting it to be probably an underrated game of the year candidate, just because of how hard these two teams will play. Seattle will win 32-24, but I really think that everybody's going to show up and they're going to play hard.
See, I also have Seattle winning this game. I think the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is going to outdo Kirk Cousins. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Seattle is 31-18.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be another thing on Russell Wilson's resume to beat this really good Vikings defense. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a great game, and I don't think Kirk's going to play bad, but this is going to be an important game for him because this is the games that you paid him for. He did win Sunday night against Dallas, which is crucial. You know, he came back from 20 points down against Denver. Now this is where it comes at. You're playing, this is basically as close to a playoff game as you're going to play in the regular season, next to Green Bay on Christmas Eve. Right? Christmas Eve when they play?
I think so.
Yeah. So I do think Seattle will win, though, just because I think Russell Wilson is the better quarterback. I think he, like I said, it's going to be another thing on his resume for MVP, especially if Lamar Jackson has a bad game tonight against the Rams, which I'm hoping he does. But Seattle wins 30-24 in a really close one. Probably like a game-winning, like last-minute touchdown game.
What you got, Ethan? Of course, you don't follow the suit with the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. My thing is, and Noah was hyping this up like the last 2 weeks, so I'm going off what he's saying. The Vikings are on 2 weeks of rest. And granted,
Yeah.
Vikings coming out of the bye is always really risky because the season we started 5-0, we went into our bye, we finished the season 3-8.
Right.
But my thing is this is one of those games where it seems like you would expect the Vikings to stumble. You would expect them to, play bad, lose to Seattle. Just from like the way the season goes, going into the game, you think, okay, maybe the Vikings will stumble against Russell Wilson or something like that. I don't think they're going to. I have a close game only because our secondary is bad, and Russell Wilson's obviously an MVP candidate. I think Russell Wilson's going to fucking torch the Vikings. He always does. I mean, Russell Wilson against the Vikings, he always goes off like 300 yards and like 70 rushing yards. Like, he just, for some reason, Vikings can never stop him.
Well, teams can.
Yeah. But however, I still feel like 2 weeks of rest, Adam Thielen's coming back, a healthy Adam Thielen, so that takes pressure off of Stephon Diggs. Irv Smith Jr. is getting comfortable in the offense. Kyle Rudolph's kind of picking it up. So, I mean, we get a full healthy offense back again. So I think the Vikings have a really good chance to win this game. I honestly think it's actually their game to lose. Like, I think they will hold the lead on this entire game, and that's why I have the Vikings winning 28-24, because I think if the Vikings can hold on to their lead going into the end of the game, they'll win. However, if their defense chokes, they'll lose the game.
The biggest thing is, like, they're going to need to run the football well, control the clock.
See, I think Seattle is going to take the dump here. I think this game's going to pretty much have no defense. I have the score being 40-34.
One other statistic about this game. Everson Griffin is 3 on quarterback pressures. Daniel Hunter's number 1. Seattle has 0 offensive line. So, just saying.
You don't
Eric
need
Kendricks
one
is
if
also
you
the
have
best coverage
Russell
linebacker
Wilson.
in football, statistically.
Yeah.
So that'll be another big thing.
Huge.
Now just be trying to stop DK Metcalf in that deep
Yeah.
ball, which is not easy because, again, the secondary of Minnesota is, like you said, is not that great.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably their only weak point in their defense, though. So
Yeah. That's the Vikings Seahawks game. Next, we have possible barn burner.
It's going to be a barn burner. No possibilities about it. These teams are both the top 2 teams in the NFL, in my opinion. And could be the Super Bowl.
It could
Very
be.
easily.
I would love to watch this.
Honestly, this would be funny because the last time the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, it was also the last time the Ravens were in the Super Bowl.
Whack.
No, that actually is.
Well,
And neither of their quarterbacks are on their team anymore.
Yeah, no
Nope.
kidding.
well,
Well, Maybe we see Kaepernick get signed by San Fran again.
Don't. He is receiving interest though from Carolina. I did see that on Instagram.
I saw he was receiving interest from the Lions too, but then that kind of faded away. Because
Yeah, I haven't
wanted
followed up on the
something.
Carolina thing, but I just saw that they are interested. We'll see.
Okay, Ravens Niners. I'll go first. It's gonna be a really good defensive battle. The Ravens are gonna win. Justin took a field goal, 17-14.
I got be a high scoring game. I do have the Ravens winning, giving the Niners their second loss of the season, 31-21.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in this game is San Francisco's defense. I think they're gonna really show and put pressure on Lamar Jackson. Not a blowout, but I do think San Francisco is gonna win 35-20. I think their offense is gonna find ways to pick the pockets of this Baltimore defense, and I think San Francisco's defense is gonna show up like they have in all big time games.
I think San Fran's also going to get the win here. I think it's going to be hella close. It's going to be 26-24. I think the big factors is their offense is getting healthy again. Like we saw George Kittle be back. I think we're getting Emmanuel Sanders back.
Yeah.
We're getting Emmanuel Sanders back.
He's
We're going-
bandwagoning.
No. We're going to see him back.
That's not
Oh,
what I
okay, that's not what I heard.
Yeah, that's not what I heard either. But
That's what I meant by that. But 26-22.
so I think this is going to be just like the Seattle versus the 49ers game, except for I think the Ravens are going to come out on top because Seattle's not in the game, and I think that there's going to be a lot of crazy plays, and it's kind of going to be like a Madden game, but the Ravens are going to go away with the victory, 36-32. Next we got a very interesting,
crappy game, but possible good game.
well, it's for second place in the AFC South and for a potential playoff
That's
spot.
what I mean. Is it either going to be a good game or a shitty game?
I think it's going to be a great game too.
Because not I think Tannehill's gonna have a really good game. I think they'll win 27-18. I think the Colts are kind of falling back down there just a little bit. And Tennessee they're at home. They've been playing really good football as of late. Ryan Tannehill's just seemed to find a spark in that team. So I think they're going to keep it rolling. 27-18 Tennessee.
I also have the Titans winning. I also have Ryan Tannehill having a good game. It's not going to be quite. It's going to be a little bit closer. Those going to be 21-14 Titans. The Colts put up a chance, but Titans win in the end.
See, I think the Colts I think this is going to be a close game, but I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I think the Colts are actually going to edge out the win off of a Adam Vinatieri game-winning field goal.
Clutch.
What are those?
Yeah, we're going to see it again.
Well, he just had it against the Broncos. So I guess.
Yeah,
He's about 50% on his game winners this year.
yeah.
He has 3 missed.
That's true.
But 20-17 Colts.
Nice. I have 24-17 Titans. I think the Titans are going to win. I think Tannehill, for some reason, is going to have a career resurgence with Tennessee.
I also think Tannehill's going to have a career search with Tennessee. Have them winning 28-26, but I think that Jacoby Brissett is going to have a really good game for what he can do at this place without Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack is probably out. I like Jacoby Brissett, but I don't think he'll be enough to
Oh,
stop the
Ebron.
Titans.
That's who it was. I
Eric
was thinking.
Ebron.
He went on IR today.
Really?
Done for the year.
Oh,
That was the guy I could not think of earlier.
Evan Ingram's also great. Anyways, that's who I always get mixed up with. Next we have, Yeah.
Divisional matchup.
this could determine, potentially, if the Chiefs lose another one, this determines the West, yeah.
I don't. Chiefs are gonna win. I think the Jets just killing the Raiders. The Raiders are not going to. Raiders are coming off getting killed by the Jets. They're going to be all over the place. They're not going to get their shit together for the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are going to win. I think of 28-17 Chiefs.
I 100% agree with you, Ben. I just think the Raiders have zero confidence now after getting blown out by the Jets. I got Kansas City winning 35-17.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to go off. This Raiders defense is not good. 38-17. Patrick Mahomes probably has 400-plus passing yards.
Oof.
I can see it.
I'm
watching Sam Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. Ever seen Sam Darnold torch him up?
I think Patrick Mahomes will be
Yeah.
fine.
I think it's going to also be a blowout. I have it being 40-24 because remember, KC still doesn't have a defense. So Derek Carr's going to be able to actually get some offense going. And
if Derek Carr starts to
that's fair.
Like,
But Josh Jacobs should be there too. too. Like he's been having a really good season.
Yeah.
And Waller's a
Pretty
thing.
bad defense.
48-24, KC.
All right, so you're talking about Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to blow up this game. I think he's going to have 3 of the 4 touchdowns. The other touchdown is going to be a defensive one. And I think the Raiders are going to take it 28-21 because I believe that the Raiders can do it. They were supposed to be the worst team in the NFL this year after they lost Antonio Brown. Now they're going to be potentially the winner of the AFC West, which is crazy to think of. I just don't think Patrick Mahomes has been the same ever since he got his ankle injury, and I don't think we'll see the same Patrick Mahomes in this game either. Of course, they are coming off a bye this week, but I just don't see the Kansas City winning.
I would like to say something really quick. I'm going to eat my words from last week. I told Brennan that Patrick Mahomes is not on pace to have over 4,000 yards. He is. He's like 4th in the NFL. So I apologize, Brendan, for arguing with about it for like 5 minutes.
Did Brendan actually say something accurate for once?
So what we're going to next?
I think we're starting our wrap-up, unless you guys want to talk about the all-time finalist. Bobby Wagner didn't make it. Luke Kuechly made it. That's all I'm going to say about the linebackers.
Yeah, I think that is
That
messed
was
up
bullshit.
real quick. Bullshit. Bobby Wagner is years, miles in front of Luke Kuechly, in my opinion.
Really?
I think
Luke Kuechly's
Miles?
never been consistently healthy. Bobby Wagner.
Yes.
I think Bobby Wagner was always like the first name to come up for best linebacker.
Okay, but then in that regard, are we going to put J.J. Watt when they do defensive lineman? In that case, I'm not.
I would see us too.
But I'm not. He's not consistently healthy by that logic.
but he puts up the statistic like in the
so does Luke Kuechly.
But that's the thing is J.J. Watt will make it over a lot of other guys, but like to put Luke Kuechly over Bobby Wagner.
JJ Watt is in it. He's in among the.
And that's what I mean. Is like
yeah, no, but I have no problem with Luke Kuechly being in there.
But like J.J. Watt never had anybody similar to his stats, during his time. Bobby Wagner had, in my opinion, better stats than Luke Kuechly did.
No, because when Luke Kuechly won Defensive Player of the Year, he was like light years above everyone at that time. He like led the NFL in tackles by I think it was like
Patrick
20
Willis didn't
tackles.
make it either.
Who didn't?
Patrick Willis.
didn't make it.
Wait, Patrick Willis did? Let me look at this list.
Patrick Willis.
Von Miller made it. I was
Patrick Willis did not
very
make it.
happy.
No, Von Miller
Bullshit,
should.
bullshit. Leave it.
Let me see.
Are you guys ready to wrap up?
Yes.
All right.
Let Noah look at the list. real
He can
quick.
look at that.
I'm just looking.
Ben and I
You're
can
fine.
start talking about Thanksgiving moments. We're also going to say one quick Thanksgiving moment because of Thanksgiving week. One of my Thanksgiving moments was the year the Vikings jumped to Detroit on Thanksgiving. So I remember it was one of the it was the morning game, noon game or whatever. Yeah. Minnesota had a chance for a comeback victory. They ended up losing because Jerick McKinnon fumbled. It pissed me off so much.
So sad.
It's a bad memory, but it's a memory.
Well, I always remember them eating turkey legs. One year I was in Minnesota for Thanksgiving, and there's just a bunch of people eating turkey legs, and I don't know why I remember that, but we were also eating turkey legs, so that's probably why I remember that. It was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was really. I remember there was a couple Thanksgivings involving Dallas. I remember when Robert Griffin III went off on Thanksgiving Day against Dallas in his rookie year. That was fun to watch. I remember when Zeke Elliott jumped in the Salvation Army bin. That was a cool moment. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny, kind of cool.
I don't know. Growing up, I didn't really watch a lot of Thanksgiving football because almost none of my family likes football. So we never had it on.
Oh, man.
That's disappointing.
Will you have it on this weekend? This week?
Yes. No.
That's good.
So I'm gonna plug in some heartstrings.
Okay.
My
I'll get ready to cry.
My favorite Thanksgiving moment was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At the Olsen residence.
Whoa, my cousin's last name is Olsen.
I'm talking about the Benjamin Olsen residence.
Whoa, your last name is Olsen?
Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Are you related somehow?
No.
Well, I didn't think so.
Ben has a little cousin. His name's Max. He's a kid.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say he's a good kid or bad kid. He's
Max.
just a kid.
I have a cousin
But
named Max.
I kind of came over and Ben's mom did the usual thing where she just tries to feed me and feed me and feed me. And then we went outside, out back, and me, Ben, and Max were all playing catch with the football. Which was a
Like
nice
catch?
time.
Nice. Yeah, I wasn't either.
You didn't know any of us back
I
then,
didn't know
Noah.
any. I was still living in Minnesota.
turkey.
Hey, oh yeah, you betcha.
Does it get cold like Minnesota in Minnesota?
I mean, it gets honestly, it gets really cold here. Like Minnesota just snows a lot. Here it gets like cold. Like
Thank you for admitting that.
Yeah, you heard it here.
Minnesotans usually say, "No, it's cold."
No, bet Minnesota just gets hella more snow, but it just gets really cold here. So
Yeah.
I think it's a wrap for this week.
I think so too.
You know what, guys? I'm thankful for the podcast.
Wow.
All right. Everybody else have a nice Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Watching football. Eat some turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go eat.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
fucking
Yeah,
starving.
I am too.
Stop it. Let's go.